book review on Shifter from the Valiant Series from Joanna White's collection, and this is the second book in her series. I'm also adding in there Reclaimed. I'm going to tell you guys what I like, what I didn't like, the characters I liked. Might be a little bit of a spoiler, hopefully not so much, or at least you guys don't consider it a big spoiler. But this is the way I review stuff. I'm writing it, or I'm reviewing it from the perspective of someone who's listening to it from an audiobook, so hopefully that doesn't affect you guys. So I'll review it as the story and then a little bit of the narration. Not much on the narration, just because I don't think narration should affect the story unless the narrator sucks and they're really bad at it. I wouldn't say this one it's still pretty good. I actually enjoyed it, and I like that they do have they are able to do multiple voices and stuff, so that helps distinguish which character is which, especially when you're listening to it, because when you're reading it, you see where the quotation marks are, and you know that's gonna switch from one person to the other. But yeah, with the audio it's a lot easier to do it that way, so I don't have to be trying to figure out who's who. So I really like this book. I like the characters in it. I like the variety of characters in it, because there's a lot of people and a lot of characters, just a lot of characters in the story, older, younger. There's a whole little war going on there. There is darkness spreading, just like in the first book in Hunter, just in a different world. And I don't know if I mentioned this, if you're watching this for the first time, this is kind of like a story, an ongoing story, a series where they're basically, there's a guy named Raiden who has powers, and he's kind of like a Jesus figure, I guess it would be, and he's going from world to world, choosing basically people and just who are going to fight and eventually join for fighting a big war or something like that. I think that's what it is. So in the first book, Hunter, I did review it. If you haven't seen that one, go check that out. In the first book, they've already chosen someone, and then in this second book, they're going to choose someone else again. But I think from the second book on, they always bring someone else to assist. I don't remember in the first one if they brought anybody. I do know Raiden went there. But in the second book, in this one, in Shifter, later on towards the end of the book, they bring one of the characters that's not from the first book. He's from one of the future books. If you, as you read the book, you'll know, they tell you who he is in this book, in Shifter. But you get to know a little bit more. You'll get to know a little bit more about him later on. And I don't know if it's book 4 or I don't remember, but you'll see. I think he's a pretty cool character. I would say he's one of my favorite characters. Ironically, he's not the one from Shifter. He's one of the ones that are traveling with Raiden, but I would say he's one of my favorite characters. I like Nisi's grandmother. Nisi and Barone are like the main characters, where the story kind of goes around. Or I would say, I would say those two are like the more main characters. We could call them the higher main characters, because there's a lot of people that are important and they're around Nisi and Barone all the time. For example, around Nisi is like her grandmother and her cousin Dietz, and then around Barone is like the other groups of the other members that are assisting with the fight that they're going to get into. So they basically, Barone has to go, he's going around trying to gather people, and then Nisi's helping out trying to gather people so that they can get into this war with the dragons, because the dragons are actually killing humans, and Barone is actually on the human side. So Barone is actually a shapeshifter, and he's one of the dragons. He's been banned basically because he's siding with the humans in a way. It's not so much he's siding with humans, but more like he doesn't want bloodshed, because he's the good one. He's a good guy. And so they're all working really hard for that. And I think Seraph is like the alpha of the dragons, and he's the one that wants to destroy the humans and stuff. And so the whole book is basically about that, how they have to fight against Seraph, but humans might not be as strong enough, so they have to figure out a way how to do something so that they can go against the dragons, because obviously the dragons are flying, and they all of them have some sort of powers too, so they're stronger than the humans. So So they have to come up with a way so that they can destroy the dragons or something, the ones that are actually bad, because not all of them are bad. And so at the end of the book, you find out who's the chosen one. But it didn't come out the way I thought. I thought, okay, for sure this one's gonna be the chosen. And they're like, no, that's not gonna be the chosen one. It's gonna be this one. So I was like, really? Like at the first time I read it, it kind of had me shocked. I was like, what? By the second time, I was already okay because I already knew. But the first time it shocked me. And there's also like a revelation. When they're starting the revelation, I kind of figured out halfway through it, like I know it's gonna happen. But it wasn't so much because it was predictable, it's because of a certain event that happened before. There's also there's like a tragedy at the end that also shocked me that I didn't see happening. Though I should have expected it because Joanna likes to do tragic backstories, so something has to happen in order to build the chosen character, their strengths and stuff, which I thought that was pretty cool. And as for Reclaim, the companion to that one, it's the companion, so there's a little bit more to the story after the revelation and the identity of the family member. I'm not gonna say what, of one of the characters, and then there's also the revelation itself of the character and training and all this stuff. And there's also there's a part there that had me a little bit confused. So I was like, I don't know why, but it felt like strange that I'm gonna say one character and the chosen character were kind of like hitting it off a little bit, and I was like, weren't you interested in the other one? So I was a little confused about that. But other than that, it's pretty interesting. I like how the story develops. I always like her stories because they kind of always keep me listening. I think the only thing that bothered me at first, the first time I listened to it, was the narrator. Just because the way they made the voice of Baron made it seem like he was ancient, and I'm like, I know he's a dragon, but do you really have to make the voice like that? But as you keep listening to it, it gets better. So it's just the beginning of it. Everything else just sounds great. She is able to do lots of voices actually, because there's a lot of characters here. There's a lot of characters clearly. So the narrator did a great job with that as well. And I don't know if I said that before, but the book is really interesting. I also listened to Samurai, which should be the next one I'm reviewing. I think that's book 3. If that's book 3, that should be the next one I'm reviewing. I'm going to try to see if I can put the link to Hunter below this one so that you guys can get an idea what the first book is about. And then if you want to re-listen to this one again and listen to the next one when it comes out, I might decide to put them in a playlist as soon as they're all done, so it's easier to find them. So if you're finding this video later on, then check and see if the playlist is in the link below, in the description, so that way you can listen to all of them and kind of get an idea. And if you get all excited the way I do about these stories, then you can find her books not just online, or she has Facebook, she has Instagram, she has a YouTube account on here also under author Joanna White. And I think you can find also the books on audiobook, Audible. That's where I listen to my books, and that's where she has it as well. You can find her anywhere. She's everywhere. So yeah, I think if I can leave you guys a link below, I'll try to do that so that you can find her, or at least to her YouTube channel, so you can find all her other accounts as well, and you can reach out to her if you're interested in getting one of her books, and I highly recommend that you should definitely look at them. Thank you so much for watching this review, and I hope you'll stick around for the next reviews. I also have a book coming up next month. It's actually a children's book. If you're a parent and you have siblings or any relatives that are young, I have co-written a book with A.J. Pruitt, the author A.J. Pruitt, and it's called Tiny Sam and the Towering Mountain. I have the book trailer for it in the previous video, which it was on Tuesday, so you can find it easy. Tiny Sam and the Towering Mountain book trailer, that's the title. So I hope you do get a chance to check that out, and just let me know if you like it in the video, and thank you for watching this one. Bye!